It's your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10, and what I got for you today is some more NBA 2K23 Next Gen. More specifically, what I have for you today happens to be the best Russell Westbrook build in the game, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this build is something special because it has a really rare build name. Now, I'm not gonna say it, I am gonna leave it till the end of the video when you see it in the shades of, and I wanna see how many of you can guess it just from the attributes based off what it is. Now, before we get into all of that though, I do gotta say shout out to all of you for all the support you've been showing to the channel. All the videos seem to have been doing amazingly, and all I gotta say is I'm happy to make them as long as you're happy to enjoy them. It is what it is, perfect collaboration. But I do gotta say, if you like today's video, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. Do me a favor, drop a comment, tell me what you think of the build, and don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, share the video, and if you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. Now, as most of you know, Russell Westbrook is the starting point guard, right-handed jersey number 0 for the Los Angeles Lakers, but for this, we'll be throwing it back to him in OKC, because that's when he broke the triple-double record, and that's when people believe he was at his best. Either that or when he was in Washington, because, you know, he did do some incredible things out there. Now, height-wise, he is 6'3", weighs about 200 pounds with a 6'7" wingspan. But as you can see, having a 6'7" wingspan means we can't get elite contact dunks on him. And if there's one thing you're going to get with Russell Westbrook, it's uber athleticism. So we got to go with a 6'8", which is slightly off so that we can get that elite contact dunks. And then body shape-wise, as you can guess, you got to go defined. Because Russell Westbrook is really in shape. Like, the real truth of it is the only thing that really lacks with Russell Westbrook's game style is his shooting and a little bit of his decision making. But outside of that, he's a really great player, and I gotta show him some respect for that. Now, first things first, physicals wise, I decided to go with an 88 when it came to the speed, and an 88 when it came to the excel, because again, this is a Russell Westbrook build, and as I said, with Russell Westbrook, the one thing you're gonna get is uber athleticism. I gave him a 74 on the strength as well, because as I've said, he's a specimen when it comes to just general sports. The guy is in shape, you know what I'm saying? Pause, but yeah, you've seen him. Now, vertical-wise, as you can guess, I went with an 85 because even though I am trying to get elite and pro contact dunks, I'm also trying to get small ones because he is under 6'5", and he is, again, one of the most athletic guards we've ever seen. And then when it comes to stamina, I decided to go with a 90 because you will be burning a lot of stamina using this build. Now, we're going to go from bottom to top when finishing out this build. So we're going to start off with the defense where, rebounding-wise, first things first, we went with an 80. Key thing here was, with any Russell Westbrook build, yeah, Mr. Triple-Double gets rebounds. So on with an 80 on the defensive rebound and a 77 on the offensive. This does mean that once you pass the ball off, if someone takes a shot, you have a great ability of rebounding the ball because you have a long-ass wingspan and your rebounding stats are probably higher than most forwards out there. So trust me, you can do a lot. I might just call this the Mr. Triple-Double build. But yeah, when it comes to the block, decided to go with a 64 because with the vertical you have, the wingspan, and a high block rating, you should be able to contest quite a lot of shots, if not swat quite a few, so that really does help. And then when it comes to the steal, gotta go with an 81, because again, like most NBA players, he might not pick your pocket a lot, but Russell Westbrook, if he sees a pass that it looks shaky, he will jump the lane and take that ball and go the other way and pull off some just outrageous dunks. So yeah, you gotta go with an 81 when it comes to the steal. And then perimeter defense, we gotta go with an 86, because yeah, Russ can play defense. Now on the interior, I decided to give him a 58. Key reason for this being, you do have to have somewhat of an interior defense this year, because if you don't, like when people take you to the hole, they just scoring over you. I noticed because one of the first builds I ran with, yeah, people were just scoring all over it. Now it's just like, yeah, I need defense. Now, getting into the playmaking after having finished with those 22 total beautiful defensive badge points, when it comes to speed with ball, I decided to go with an 80. I know this is kind of slow. It's not slow, but it's not uber fast, which you'd probably want, but that's because this year you don't need the speed with ball to be high to get gold quick first step. So I went with an 85 when it came to the ball handle, an 80 when it came to the speed with ball, and then when it came to the pass accuracy, I went with an 80 because again, as I said, this is the Mr. Triple-Double build, so it's a lot of moving the ball around and a lot of work to do. Actually, I went with an 86 when it came to the ball handle. Key thing being that does allow me to get silver mismatch expert, as you can see when I quickly switch it off, switch it on. Plus it does allow us to get a grand total of 22 total playmaking badge points. Now shooting wise, y'all are gonna hate me because there is some disrespect I put on this man's name. First things first, I gave him an 83 on the free throw because I wanted to respect it. When it came to the mid-range jump shot, I gave him an 84 because you might mock his shooting, but his pull-up jumper from mid prior to what we were seeing this last year has been quite cash. And then when it came to the three ball, obviously I decided to give him a 66. Now I know this is kind of low, you know what I'm saying? It is kind of low, but you've seen Russell Westbrook shooting he's not exactly the best 3-ball shooter out there. Plus, as Mike Wang said, you need an 80+ 3-ball to be hella consistent from 3. So being a 66, you won't be, your consistency will be off, you know, between games, and technically that's what Russ's consistency is from 3. But anyway, it allows you to finish with 16 shooting badge points. Hey, be happy. Now, drive and dunk, we went all the way up to a 92, which is why, again, we put his wingspan at 6'8" rather than the actual height of 6'7". And then when it came to the driving layup, went with an 88 because when he's not dunking it on you, he does finish with some uber athletic layups. And then, of course, the close shot, got to push that up for the badge count because, as you know, if you make builds, you always got to move the post shot up, not the post shot, the close shot up last, because that's where you can most likely find some extra badge points. Now, as you can see, that does allow us to finish with 22 total finishing badge points. So we finished with 22 finishing, 16 shooting, 22 playmaking, and 22 defensive. If there's any advice I'd give you, it's if there are any tier 3 badges you're literally trying to get. So let's say, for example, we're finishing. Make sure you check how many points you need for them, because you'll always get told you need to split at least 10 points between tier 1 and tier 2. And if you manage to, so let's say, for example, here we split 10 here and we wanted to get gold limitless takeoff. I'd say that you have 17 badge points at the very least, because if you have 17, you can easily core gold limitless takeoff and spend the badge points somewhere else. But you do need to have the 7 badge points for some reason, just so it looks like you can afford to buy it. But yeah, as we said before, this does allow you to finish with 82 total badge points, with the key thing being you're able to play defense, playmate, shoot, even though your 3-ball won't be too tight. And if they let you even get a slither of an open lane to the hoop, you can torture and just be a menace to them. Now, when it comes to takeovers, the first one I gotta go with is most likely easy blow-bys, and the second one I gotta go with is finishing moves, because again, this is a Russell Westbrook build, and son, if you're gonna be Russell Westbrook, you know you gotta blow by people and meet somebody at the cup and just bang it on them like crazy. Now, what 2K says we're having to build here, if you're, you know, lucky enough to have guessed the build name, happens to be a drum roll, please. There ain't gonna be no drum roll, but yeah, an inside the arc scorer, the likes of Steve Francis, De'Aaron Fox, and John Morant. I'm kind of shocked it didn't give us Russ, because Russ was doing it before De'Aaron or Ja, so I'm kind of shocked it didn't. But hey, this is gonna be, I think this will be the only video where we don't get to play in the shades of, but hopefully you guys still enjoy it, which if you did, don't forget to do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn post notifications on. You've seen how many videos we've dropped, and you know we got more bangers coming out, so you got to. And don't forget, drop a comment, tell me what you think of the build, as well as a build you might want to see. Now, I'm gonna head off and record another video. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.